What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. Today, we're going to focus in on Brendan Shanahan joining the Toronto Maple Leafs as the president of hockey operations. I think it's a good move. Shanahan is one of the greatest power forwards of all time, and I think his style of play reflects the way many people in Toronto want the team to play, and more importantly, David Clarkson to play. I think the running joke on Twitter today was, good, he can take Clarkson's job, and be probably more effective, even at 45, 46. But I love Shanahan as a player. Let's get that clear. I mean, I may have disagreed with him on a few of his calls when he was with the NHL discipline department, but his style of play and just Irish Catholic kid from Ontario, probably similar family than what I grew up with. So you can identify with him, and he's just played the game hard, played the game right. In Detroit, in New Jersey, on Broadway with the Rangers. I mean, when he fought Brashear, he was no kid when that went down, and he took a few licks, but God bless him for hanging in there. It's just all about that, and he his passion every night. He just was what made him effective, and was one of the best goal scorers in NHL history, Hall of Famer. Great penalty minutes. Just did everything right, and back to the Leafs. There's no guarantees it's going to work. Naming former player, even though he never actually played for the Leafs, former NHL players to head up your team doesn't always work out the way you draw it up. But it's a gamble worth taking. You think about the great power forwards of all time. It's Gordie Howe, Cam Neely, Brendan Shanahan, and Cam Neely's done a fantastic job running the Boston Bruins as president of hockey operations. So giving Shanahan similar duties, I think can be beneficial for everyone going forward. There's no guarantee it's going to work, but I think he's got a good enough hockey mindset where he can move some pieces around the board and make the team, competitive. I mean, not competitive. I mean, hanging around the playoff spot is competitive, but the team's flawed in its design. And he played a number of years in a Detroit system that, was predicated on playing the game right, being sound defensively, and turning defense into offense. And you look at the amount of shots the Toronto Maple Leafs gave up this year, it was astounding, dumbfounding. So by having Shanahan come in, implement what he learned in Detroit, I mean, he played for a number of teams, but was in St. Louis for a while. Obviously, that brief stint in Hartford, he'd like to forget, I'm sure. And did it with the Rangers and the Devils at the end of his career. He's been in a number of systems. He knows what's going on, but I think he'll take, especially what he learned in Detroit, to heart and help remake Toronto, I should say. And hope embarrassments like this season don't happen again. I know Game 7 against the Bruins is more of an anomaly than anything else. I mean, how often does that happen? But this season's just been a disgrace, and I think those of us that I don't really look too much into advanced statistics, but they spoke for themselves this year. And I mean, just if you watch Toronto play, you knew they were giving up too many shots to be competitive down the stretch, and it was kind of a bend don't break defense, and it broke, but we'll see what happens. Best of luck to Shanny, because loved him as a player, and I still think he's a pretty cool dude. I saw him once in Humrock, Mass. Nice guy. Anyway, that's all I got this episode of the Power Play with CJ on Brendan Shanahan taking the Leafs job. Stay tuned for episodes to the season and beyond. Later, guys.